Coffee with me Survey 15 Minutes. Ako po si Martin Peñaflor po, one of the founders and current president and CEO of Acquisition Apps Incorporated. We are better known with our brand sa Tangeray. Bit of a background po muna about myself, para na po sa inyo lahat po. Bukod po sa pagiging presidente po na Tangeray, I'm a proud member po. Wala sir? Wala sir? Sige na po. Just call the technical team, sir. Magana. Ito, it's working, sir. Yes, sir. Slightly up. Okay lang po.
Nakala nakikita.
Sorry. Okay lang, sir. Redo tayo, redo. Ayan, ulit po ulit. Magandang tanghali po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Martin Peñaflor, one of the founders, the president and CEO of the company. I'm also a proud member of Manila JCs for your reference po. And aside from that, just to establish something about myself po, I'm the 2020 Ginebra Ako CNN Filipino of the Year awardee. And at the same time po, I'm one of the awardees for Esquire and Tadler for 2024, one of the leaders in Asia. So yun po. But enough about me. I'm here to present our pre-election senatorial preferential survey results for 2025 po ito. Ginawa namin ng fieldwork November 6 to 9, 2024. So fresh pa po yung data natin. So before we begin, since we are a proud member of the Marketing Opinion Research Society of the Philippines, better known as MORES. So with MORES, we are the one, together with some of the leading firms, such as the leading public opinion firms in the Philippines, we established the ethical guidance in terms of conducting online market research. So one of the standards po na ginawa namin is we need to present our survey methodology before presenting the results. So ito po yung nakikita nyo, this is our methodology. This was conducted using what we call the Tangeray app. That's our computer-aided personal interviewing tool. Or in the survey world, it's called a CAT. So this is our data gathering tool in general. So it's a built-in application live in the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, Huawei App Gallery, and we have 1 million users nationwide who regularly answers our surveys. So meron po kaming 1 milyong katangeray na regular sumasagot ng survey. For this particular survey, our sample size is 2,400 respondents, 1.96% margin of error with a 95% confidence level. Ibig sabihin po nito, kapag inulit namin yung survey, 95 out of 100 times, this is the same results. That's the meaning of confidence level. So we use stratified random sampling. Baka sabihin po ng iba, it's online. Convenient sampling lang po siya. Kahit sino pwede sumagot, pwede po dyan. But for us, we did stratified random sampling. What we mean by stratified random sampling, in layman's term, quota-based sampling. We made sure that the respondents are in proportion to the Philippine population, meaning proportion to the household income, proportion to the age group, and to the regions in the Philippines. So makikita niyo po yung breakdown po mamaya. So in terms of the breakdown of the respondents, ito po sila sa, let's focus on the areas. So this is readable across all regions of the Philippines. Mula po Region 1, papuntang BARM. Ibig sabihin po nito, when you say readable in market research and any public opinion polls, meron at least 30 regions. But in terms of our areas, this is the actual breakdown of the voter population in the Philippines. 12% coming from NCR, Metro Manila. 23% when you say NCL, Northern Luzon to Central Luzon. Southern Luzon and Bicol region, 22%. That includes Mimaropa. Visayas, 20%. And the largest, of course, Mindanao at 23%. This is the breakdown of our respondents. And makikita niyo din po sa gender natin, 50-50 po yan. Sa SEC po natin, when you call it socio-economic status, or those who declare themselves under a particular household income, 10% na po ng Pilipinas talaga classified under Class ABC or those earning above 50K. And 80% of the Philippine population falls under Class D, and 10% ng respondents namin, voter population din po, Class E. So this is the breakdown of our survey respondents. Again, fresh na fresh pa po yung data namin, November 6 to 9 ang aming field work. So yung moment na hinintay po natin, sino po kaya ang lamang? We ask questions in terms of our mobile application. We ask questions on their voter preference. Who among the list, lahat po na nasa list na pasado sa COMELEC na sinistahan po namin. choose maximum of 12. Alam na po natin, 12 lang po maximum na pwedeng iboto. And at the same time, may mga questions din po kami. Ano yung mga attributes ng isang kandidato na gusto niyo po sa kanila? What are the issues that they would like them to handle among others? Okay, so ito po ang ating overall ranking. Let's focus first on the top 12. But for your kind reference also, what you're seeing here, let's say for Senator Bongo, ano po ibig sabihin ng 3 to 4? That's within his likelihood ratio po ang tawag po dyan sa statistics. It's within the margin of error. Let's say for example, for the second consecutive month, since we also did a press release in Makati for October run, yung magkapatid na Tulfo, Axis Representative Erwin Tulfo and Ben Vitag Tulfo scored very high across all demographics. But I'd like to highlight lang po, of course, mataas ang score, particularly ni Congressman Erwin Tulfo across all demographics, but he is, sasabihin ko po, gagamitin ko po yung term na ito ngayong tanghali po, statistically significantly lower siya sa age 51 years old and above. Congressman Erwin Tulfo. It's the same also with his brother. Si Media Executive Ben Vitag Tulfo is also, in terms of his voter preference, it is statistically significantly lower for 51 years old and above. Makikita po din natin, statistically tied to 3 and 4, Senator Bongo and Senator Tito Soto. I'd like to highlight this afternoon that the survey was conducted after the conducted after the guesting of our former president sa Senado. This did not capture his guesting in Congress. Pero, as you can see here, there was an uptick in terms of the voter preference of Senator Tito Soto. Senator Bongo. And, next page, papakita po yung other nag-improve yung voter preference po nila. Isa audio, okay, sir?
Medyo kailangan iayos natin yung audio. Pwede pa palit ng mic. Try natin yung isang mic.
Ito po.
Yan, that's better.
Ito, I can ulitin ko po, para po sa benefits ng lahat. November 6 to 9 ang ating field work. So this was after the guesting of our former president sa Senado. I'm going to use guesting. But this was before his guesting in Congress. And because of the appearance of our former president, nagkaroon po ng uptick with Senator Bongo, Senator Bato de la Rosa, and those under the Duterte lineup. So yun po yung makikita niyo po ngayon. Looking at the voter preference of Senator Bongo, it's almost 5% ang kanyang increase sa voter preference. This is driven by respondents in the Mindanao area, particularly Davao region and northern Mindanao area. And of course, Senator Tito Soto, and statistically tied to number 3 and 4 with Senator Bongo, with a 49.71% voter preference. And tatlo po yung tied sa 5 to 7. Senator Manny Pacquiao, former Senator Ping Lacson, and incumbent Senator Pia Cayetano. Though, I'd like to highlight here, for this month, bumaba ng almost 6% ang voter preference ni Senator Pia Cayetano. Of course, her votes are still driven by voters in Metro Manila. And this is, of course, mamaya ipapakita po din ako. We will share additional information po sa inyo. May tinatawag po kami social media scan. And this is driven, of course, makikita din po natin, tahimik sa social media, si Senator Pia Cayetano. And this has an effect on this one. Papakita din po natin yun. I'd like to highlight sa mga hindi po nakatin sa aming press conference noong October that in our previous run, September, kasi we've been doing the senatorial survey since last year. And last year, kasama po si President Duterte. Actually, before the filing of candidacy, in our Senate survey run noong September, kasama po si President Duterte, Congressman Pulong Duterte, and Mayor Basen Duterte. Yung tinanggal po namin sila, kasi when we did our October run, kakatapos lang po ng filing of candidacy. So tinanggal po namin. We noticed a trend wherein the voter preference of the Dutertes, particularly the former president, went to Senator Panfilo Lacson. His voter preference noong October was driven by respondents from Mindanao and male respondents aged 36 and above. It's the same also with, back then, Congressman Marcoleta and, of course, Senator Bongo. And napunta din po sa magkapatid na Tulfo yung voter preference ni former President Duterte. And the trend continues now. Kasi if you will see the data later on, they are really balling very high in terms of their voter preference in Mindanao, male respondents and respondents aged 26 to 50 years old. Yun po yun sa magkapatid na Tulfo. Number 8 will be Makati Mayor Abby Binay, double B, triple B. So si Mayor Abby Binay, in terms of her voter preference, this is driven, of course, by respondents, female respondents within Metro Manila, aged 26 to 50 years old, married respondents. So doon nag-hit yung target market po ni Mayor Abby Binay. Si former DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos, mataas po siya sa social media scan. When we did our social media scan, he is top 6 across all, alam niyo po yung paid and organic social media. So yung fan pages niya and his own personal page, mataas po ang social media scan ni Secretary Abalos for October 15 to November 15. I-share din po namin yung data na po yun sa inyo. And the main driver, of course, for his voter preference, now this is interesting, Calabarzon, Central Luzon, and Metro Manila. That's the main driver of the voter preference, ni Secretary Abalos. And then, eto, now this one gets really interesting. After Secretary Abalos, there are 10 candidates that are statistically tied with under 10 to 19. This is just ranked according, of course, to their voter preference, but they're within the margin of error. So that's why I mentioned there are 10 candidates statistically tied with 10 to 19. So that's Senator Lito Lapid, Senator Bong Revilla, Senator Francis Tolentino, Senator Bato de la Rosa, Rodante, Congressman Marcoleta, Bam Aquino, Amy Marcos. Now, I'd like to highlight Senator Amy Marcos. On our October run, alam na po natin saan po yung Solid North po, di ba? Northern Luzon, that's Ilocos Region, Region 1, CAR. Senator Amy Marcos was number 10 in Northern Luzon and Central Luzon in our October run. After the press con of VP Sara Duterte, because the survey happened after the press con of the Vice President, the main driver now of the voter preference, so you can see here a slight uptick in the voter preference of Senator Marcos. The main driver for her voter preference are respondents from Northern Luzon and Central Luzon. So, for them, after the press con of VP Sara, it has a positive effect for respondents within Northern and Central Luzon. But I'd like to highlight now, she dropped significantly in Visayas and Mindanao. That's the lowest driver of her voter preference, Visayas and Mindanao. So yeah, now you can see the different areas coming into play. Senator Kiko Pangilinan is number 10 to 19, and of course, newcomers, Dr. Willie Ong and comedian Willie Revillame are also statistically tied with 10 to 19 sa ating survey. So they're all within the margin of errors. There are 10 candidates now, based on our survey, vying for 3 slots. Now, I'd like to highlight, in our survey, 2,400 respondents po yung sumagot. Last month, ang familiar po kayo sa mean or average. Ang average ng isang registered voter na sumagot po ng survey namin, 8. 8 out of all candidates lang. Hindi nila pinilapan yung 12. In fact, only 25% of the respondents filled up 12 candidates. You can see in the next page na mostly, I'm sorry to use the term, mostly fillers na lang sa kanila yung other candidates just to make 12. Only 25% of the respondents selected 12 candidates. Now, the improvement here, since yung survey namin, when we conducted our survey, it was after the filing of candidacy. After a month, the mean now, the voter preference, the average now is 9. Ibig sabihin po, tumaas ang pinagpipilian ngayon ng mga registered voters natin na kandidato. Dati 8 lang nilalagay nila. Ngayon, 9 na ang kanilang average. I'd like to highlight during the previous elections natin, ang average po ng mean na nilalagay na isang registered voter, 9 to 10. So we're nearing it. So that's why you can also see an uptick now. Doon sa first, yun sa top 12 natin, tumaas din ang kanilang voter preference because the mean increased. Now, statistically tied to 2021, former Senator Ringo Honasan and Las Piñas Lone Representative Camille Villar. So, yan po ang kanilang 20 to 21. And of course, filling up the spot will be top 24. Philip Salvador, an increase here. As I mentioned po kanina, nung after po ng appearance si President Duterte, tumaas po lahat ng mga others kanya. That includes Philip Salvador. But he's still at number 22. Right below him, Governor Luis Chavez Singson. And Dr. Richard Mata, social media personality po. And when we did our social media scan, together with Doc Willie Ong, he has one of the highest organic posts sa mga kandidato po natin. And that's also the driver for his voter preference. So my key takeaway here will be, again, same po, men age 36 and above, particularly from Visayas and Mindanao, their voter preference, it went to the Tulfo brothers, though 51 years old and above, they are really significantly lower. Makita niyo po yung data later. It went to Christopher Bongo. It went to Marcoleta, of course, maintaining that rate, and other candidates din po. Other key takeaway, which also included in the file that we'll be sending after po nito, other key takeaway here will be the effect of the press conference of VP Sara Duterte on Senator Amy Marcos. Northern Luzon and Central Luzon, high voter preference from a low of only number 10 of October. Visayas and Mindanao, that's the lowest driver of her voter preference. And of course, 10 candidates vying for 3 slots, 10 to 12. Led by 5 incumbents, 2 former senators, 3 former senators, and 2 newcomers po. Now, these are the other candidates. I'll just breeze through this. So, ito po yung 3 other candidates natin with more than 10% voter preference. They are statistically tied to 24 and 27. Teddy Casino, Congressman Wilbert Lee, and Attorney Jimmy Bonto. Sila po sila lahat. Now, after po yung tatlo, you will see now a downtrend in terms of the voter preference. I'd like to highlight Pastor Tibuloy with 3.46% voter preference sa kanya po. And others, and of course, Secretary Vic Rodriguez is also there. But as I mentioned po kanina, the average of each respondents po natin, of each voters, siyam. So it means after selecting their preferred candidates, they just mostly use the remaining candidates to fill up 12. That's 25% of the respondents. Then if we're, hopefully makita po tayo ulit sa December kasi we do this regularly. So, hopefully sa December, tumaas po ang average ng voter preference natin ng 10 kandidato po bawat isa. Or makalabing 2 po, mataas po yun. But for now, as you can see here, after Attorney Jimmy Bonto, everything now goes to below single-digit voter preference. And these are the other candidates po natin. Forward na lang po natin. You have a copy of this. So, as you can see, 1% voter preference. And the tendency here again, similar po sa actual na botohan, since we simulated the actual ballot in our survey, they just fill up the 12. And what we're seeing now, there are 24 candidates with a chance of winning, of gaining the top 12 spots. Yun po yung nakikita natin. Sila po din po yung maiingay sa social media when we do our social media scan. And of course, the highest paid and organic po, Senator Bong Revilla. That's the reason why he went previously from number 13 to number 11 dito po sa ating Senate survey. So, more science stuff bago po tayo lumipas. Ito po, explain ko po ito. Ito kasi po, we're a market research public opinion polling company. So we have statisticians, research professionals. This is what we call data table with a statistically significantly tested data. Ang ibig sabihin po ng green, it's higher than their totals. Significantly higher. Red po, significantly lower. Ito po yung sinasabi ko po kanina. Look at Congressman Erwin Tulfo. Ang average voter preference niya, 26 to 50 years old, 68%. Now look at the statistically significantly lower po, 18 to 25, and 51 years old. Kumbaga na-sandwich po ang voter preference ni Congressman Erwin Tulfo. Similar din po kay DJ Executive Ben Vitag Tulfo, he is significantly lower, though he's falling high in 18 to 25 years old, he is significantly lower for 51 years old and above. Particularly for respondents, voters age 60 years old and above, yung mga senior citizens. So yun po yung magiging, I think there's a room for improvement here. And interesting also for Media Executive Ben Bitag Tulfo, he is statistically significantly lower po sa Southern Luzon and Bicol region. Particularly sa Bicol. Now that's interesting kasi may tubong Bicol po yung dalawa. Mataas po sa Bicol si Erwin Tulfo. Yan po, that's how we read this. Of course, we'll be sharing this po sa inyo. I'd like to highlight si Willie Revillame. He is very high, 26 to 35 years old, but he is significantly lower for 51 years old and above. So, you can see here a trend. I can see here a trend. Celebrities have low voter preference for 51 years old and above. Look at Senator Manny Pacquiao, look at Lito Lapid, look at Senator Revilla. They are significantly lower sila for 51 years old and above. So this is what the data is telling us. This is what I mentioned earlier about Senator Aimee Marcos. Look at the 46% voter preference in Northern Luzon and Central Luzon. Now look at the 23% voter preference in Visayas and 22% voter preference in Mindanao. So it seems, as I mentioned kanina, nagustuhan ng mga Northern Luzon and Central Luzon yung Presto. It's still the concept of family. Alam na po natin yun. But for Visayas and Mindanao, it dropped significantly there. If there's an uptick in Visayas and Mindanao for Senator Marcos, she can easily be in the top 9 spot po natin. So that's the main driver na nagpapababa po ng kanyang voter preference. Rodante Marcoleta po, I'd like to highlight here. Of course, 26 to 35 years old. And po, in our last run, number 15 po si Senator Bato de la Rosa. And after the guesting in Senate of our former President, you can see now the uptick, 36 to 50 years old, male respondents, Visayas and Mindanao. You can see the green po natin dito. Ibig sabihin po nito, he is statistically higher po sa Visayas and Mindanao. But, nag-drop po siya sa Northern Luzon, Central Luzon, Southern Luzon, and Bicol region. Particularly po sa amin sa Cavite, sa Calabarzon area. Okay, and these are the rest of the candidates po na bibigay din po namin sa inyo. This is how you read the data. This is statistically significantly table po. Stat po yan. Ang sabihin na lang po natin, this is called data tables. Bakit di na po ako mabulol? So data tables po natin, this shows the breakdown of the respondents per age, socioeconomic status, area. Hindi na po namin sinabad dito yung gender. Hindi na namin sinabad dito yung civil status. Married, single, separated. Just for your reference, respondents that are separated, ang highest voter preference nila for the Tulfos din. Yung mga hiwalay. Divorce, sa Tulfos din po sila. Wala na po sila sa data na to. But of course, we also ask issues. Tagalog po when we raise our survey. Alin sa mga sumusunod na usapin ang pinakamahalaga sa pagpili ng ibobotong senador? And of course, similar po sa other surveys natin, mas mataas na pasahod, mas madaming trabaho. Labor and employment. Education, number 2. Food security is number 3. Ito po yung breakdown po natin dito ng ating mga issues to be raised. And tinanong po natin kasi diba, there was a public opinion poll company that raised, will you support a candidate that supports China? As you can see here, in this particular survey, national security is only number 10 in terms of the issues that respondents, voters, they want to address. So that's why, for example, I'd like to highlight Senator Tolentino is one of the main proponent of the fighting for the West Philippine Sea. But it's only ranked number 12 because national issues, particularly national security, is only number 10. It's still issues regarding labor and employment, education, and food security. Alright, and last 2 slides. Sa tanong naman po, sa pagpili ng iboboto mong senador, alin sa mga sumusunod na katangian ng isang kandidato ang pinakamahalaga sa inyo? 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5 respondents said, hindi corrupt.